For my company, we are offering the free property insurance and the personal accident insurance. So with this, we are trying to retain our customers, and I can say after the first quarter end, it is successfully implemented in our company, and that is really helping. I'm very sure that is housing finance industry is going to boom. We are focusing on the, of course, digitalization.
Hello and welcome to this very special interview that we slated for you at the Free Press Journal. I'm Cheryl D'Souza, and today we are going to talk about a segment that is developing and the reason why it's developing is because of you and me, because I'm talking about the housing segment, and in particular when I talk about housing segment, it is the housing finance segment. And today I'm joined by Mr. Salvi, who is the MD and CEO of GIC Housing Finance. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, Shri.
On this very special edition. And like I said, it is a segment that affects us, like all of us and you alike, isn't it?
Yeah,
housing
true,
finance
true.
segment.
Very true.
And there is so much development, right? Over the years, we've seen the interest rates fluctuate a tad bit too much, but now we are in a regime where the interest rate is stabilizing. So given the fact the interest rates are stabilized, people are getting a little more confidence in it. Do you think that will improve the demand for the loans at least in this financial year?
Absolutely. First, let me tell you one sentence. The demand for the housing loan or the housing finance industry is going to improve, I'm sure, at least for the 1 decade. And let me talk about the low interest rate. Particularly in the last fiscal, the RBI Monetary Policy Committee, they have reduced the interest rate twice, almost by 100 basis points. First tranche at 50 basis points, then two tranches of 25 basis points. So with that, there was a reduction in the housing loan only because the banks and housing finance company, they have passed on that reduction to the customers also. So that was a very positive sign. But if you see the last 2 quarters, the RBI Monetary Policy Committee, they have not changed the interest rate. That is mainly to balance the inflation with growth. And with that, but that is also in a positive sense if you take. Now the customers are sure that there is no further reduction in the interest rate. So they are finalizing on their house purchase thought. So that way it is boosting the again housing finance sector. So I'm very sure that is housing finance industry is going to boom, and there are 3 major factors which will be booming the housing finance demand. The first one is almost rapid urbanization. As you know, the urbanization is really rapidly, particularly in India. It is not only tier 1 cities, tier 2, tier 3 cities, everywhere the development you can see. Now I can tell you about myself, where I'm staying in the Bandra. So my house to Joggers Park, it is just 2 kilometers, but I can see minimum 15 high rises coming up, and that is a scenario of the entire Mumbai. And the same thing I can say about all the major cities also, because I travel a lot in various cities. Then be it Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, everywhere the scenario is same, and lot of the infrastructure development across the India, that is also helping the industry to boom. The second main reason is that a rising level of the income. Every household, now you will find a husband and wife both are working, so definitely the income level has risen. So, and everyone would like to have their own house. So that is another reason, and most of the youngsters, they go for their own houses. So that is another reason for the boost in the housing loan sector. And the third and the most important one is the government initiatives. Government also wholeheartedly supporting the housing industry. They have already come up with the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Then recently they have come with the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana 2.0, which is also giving more benefits to the particular to the lower section of the lower section of the people. They are giving a subsidy of around 1,80,000 over the 12 years, and that is also ultimately boosting the housing industry. So these are the 3 major factors. And if you see the GDP, India's GDP particularly, which would be in the range of around 6.8% to 7.2% this fiscal only, and definitely with such a high GDP, which is one of the best in the world, definitely again that is also going to boost the housing industry. And one more factor, it's the outstanding individual housing loan. If you see the number of the outstanding individual housing loan, it has already crossed 39 lakh crore.
Wow.
It's huge. And out of that, almost 80% is from the public sector and the private sector banks. Then 18% is from the HFCs, and the balance is from the rural banks. So such a vast investment is there, and there are opportunities there. So I'm very sure that in the next decade, housing industry is going to boom.
Right, like you said, the housing industry is likely to boom, and it is like it's also a very great thought, given the fact that it's also an indication how the economy is growing, how
yes,
the
yes,
income is
yes,
growing,
yes,
how the
yes.
affordability, and also the sense of everyone realizing that you need housing as an essential. And earlier it used to be an investment sort of a thing that people used to go for houses.
Yes, yes.
Now it is actually, it is a must because you have to live in it,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But I want to understand about you, about your company in particular. How is GIC Housing Finance giving affordable lending and also maintaining profitability? Because it's a very competitive market, and it's not that only housing finance companies are a part of this market, right? Like you said, PSUs and private banks are also part of it.
Correct. So very true. In fact, as we are already discussed, most of the public sector banks as well as the private sector banks, they are already in the housing loan segments, and there are 91 HFCs as well as on 31,326 data. There are 91 housing finance companies, and GIC is ranked 17 amongst them. So I would say, so the main of the GIC Housing Finance, we are backed by the very strong promoter companies, which includes the General Insurance Corporation of India, GIC Re, New India Assurance, National Insurance, Oriental Insurance, and the United India Insurance. They are our promoter companies. They hold 42% of the share, and remaining by the public. But with that strong support of the brand name of promoter companies, plus our credit rating, which is AA plus by the ICRA and CRISIL, that is also helping us in getting our borrowings at very competitive rate. So the brand name of the promoters as well as the GIC's credit rating, both are with the mixture of both. So we get a very competitive housing loan rate. So with that, we can also offer the competitive rates to our customers also. That's the one thing. And secondly, I would mention that as far as the profitability is concerned, to earn the profitability, we are focusing on the, of course, the digitalization, and we are making as much as possible investment in the digitalization. Second thing, we are offering the best services, and thirdly, we are continuously reducing our cost of borrowing so that we can pass on the such benefits to our customer also. With all those things, definitely, of course, it is very challenging, but definitely I can say that we are making the reasonable profits also. So we are there to remain in this market for a long period.
Right, you have to remain in this market for a long period, but also along with you remaining in the market for the long period is also the home loans that continue for long and very long period. And I'm saying this as someone who already has a home loan. And one thing, every day relentlessly I get a call from either of the financial institutions saying that do you have a home loan, do you want to transfer? And I've realized that given the fact that everybody is calling you for this, which means that this is a developing segment as a whole. Are you seeing this as a segment, this entire balance transfer? Do you see this as a growth segment for GIC Housing Finance, and how are you actually catering to this? And is it true that you also and you all also tend to make calls for this?
Yes, definitely. As you rightly said, that balance transfer, we call it BT in and BT out. That is forming many important part of almost every housing finance or any company who is in the housing industry. So what happens when you call it as a balance transfer in and out? When you say in, definitely you get a very high quality customer with a very low risk and the credit seasoned players, because they are already credit underwritten by some other company, and we are just taking onboarding that customer. So a lot of your costs get saved with that. So that is, and why then second part is a BT out. Why would any person or any customer would like to move from your company to other company? The basic reason would be the interest rate. That is the foremost concern. If you are currently at 8.5 and somebody is offering 8.25 also, definitely will move, because as you rightly said, the tenure is really long, which extends up to 30 years also. And the second would be the service. These are two parameters, like the rate of interest and the service. Because of that only normally customers move from the one company to another. So what at GIC, what we have done, we have taken a very proactive step. We have already established a dedicated centralized BT out retention team in head office. So, and with the help of the AI tools, we analyze the customers Then we try to find out which customer is trying to look out for is looking after the housing finance, housing loan, he is visiting the housing loan screens. Then why is it looking for that? Then we analyze. Then sometimes we get a calls from a branch, say this customer is trying for the BT out. Then our team at sitting at the central office, they get in touch with the such customers, and they try to find out what are the reasons why he is moving out. Then we try to restructure his loan. That is a basic requirement, restructure his loan, and then we try to offer him the longer tenure. The EMI will reduce to that extent, and we offer the best services, and we try to explain then if they move out from our company, they might lose some of the benefits which we are offering free. For my company, we are offering the free property insurance and the personal accident insurance. So if they leave us, they have to pay for these insurances.
Right.
So with this, we are trying to retain our customers. And another point I have to say that as far as our BT in is concerned, during the last financial year, it was almost 540 crores of BT in. As compared to it, BT out was just 310 crores. So still BT in, BT out, we are almost 100 crores plus. The scenario was different just 2 years back. That time our BT in was less and BT out was more, but with all the corrective measures taken in the last 2 years, now our BT in is more than the BT out, and which is constituted almost 25% of our total portfolio now.
Wow. I'm so amazed because when you're talking and we spoke about this balance transfer and how it is developed into a segment, what also caught my attention is the fact that you spoke about AI and digitalization digitization and how that is helping your company. But I also realized that how is developed so much that it helps you map your customers. That brings me to the next question that I wanted to ask you. So these digital tools, and they help you for this instant credibility. They help you understand what is going to be your EMI.
Correct.
Does this really help in converting to customer acquisition?
Definitely. First of all, I would like to talk about digitalization and IT industry. I've started my career with the IT industry.
Wow.
Of course, I started my career at the age of 19 with the IT industry, and my first 15 years I was in the IT department only. So I know what is the importance of the digitalization and the IT in any of the financial sectors.
Right.
So with that, I would say, and I can happy to share with that, from this 1st April 26 only, we have implemented our core systems, that is LOS, LMS and LCS, that is loan originating system, loan management system and the loan collection system. These are the basic systems used in any housing finance companies. So we have implemented that, and I can say after the first quarter end, it has successfully implemented in our company, and that is really helping in improving the customer services to the great extent, because turnaround time, initially our turnaround time, that is one of the important criteria which customer lose. Turnaround time in the sense, once you approach the company for housing loan and when you get the check, so time between the 2 days. So earlier in company it was more than 20 days. But now with the implementation of these new systems, the turnaround time has come down to around 12 days. But I'm sure that by this maybe another 2 quarters, I would like to bring down that turnaround time to around 8 days only maximum, and that is the industry standard. So with this digitalization, because most of the APIs, so those are inbuilt in the system. So with that you can find out, means we need not go out of this one system, log into another system. That is, everything has been eliminated, and with the one system only for any logging into any loan application in the system. Earlier used to take around 30 minutes for one application. Now it is taking less than 10 minutes. So my executives can invest more time in getting more and more customers. That is the help of the digitalization. And with that, because other day I saw one of our business partner only, he was demonstrating how they have developed various products with the help of the AI. And as you know that what wonders AI can do, I think every day we are hearing about that. So it's a really wonderful. And when I saw their demonstration, they were simply talking as a normal English language. See, I want this, I want analysis of this customers, how many customers are, say for the example of any metro city like Mumbai, how many are salaried, how many are self-employed, what is the level of income, just give me the analysis of that. Within, I think, fraction of second, the entire data was ready. Such a powerful AI engine is, and the same tools I am going to implement in my company. In some we have already implemented, and some I am going to implement, and already my IT team is already working on the various WhatsApp programs. Right now we are giving the statement of accounts, interest statement, KYC, re-KYC is happening through WhatsApp. Leads are being generated through the WhatsApp. Our Instagram, what is that? Instagram and LinkedIn. It has a lot of hits has increased. There is an increase of more than 50% in our Instagram hits in the last 6 months. And because I have employed one AI specialist in my company, and this is really doing wonders. The way he develops the Instagram pages, it's wonderful. And we have made it a point to all our customers also, whenever they take a loan from us, they should be giving some, whether it's positive or the negative. If it is positive, it always gives a good feel of sense, and if it is negative, this always gives a chance to improve on it.
Right.
So we are insisting all our customers also to give their feedback, and most importantly, the increase in the hits on our Instagram and the LinkedIn pages, that is helping us in getting the extra leads. So we are getting the customers without paying any agent's commission. So in a way, that is also helping us. So in every way, digitalization is helping to improve the company.
And look at how companies are evolving with AI. I'm so amazed with how it is happening. But that brings me to the next phase of questions that I want to ask you, because I figured that digitization is very core for GIC Housing Finance, and it is going to be a pillar that will also help you drive growth going ahead.
Definitely.
But apart from that, I want to understand, and I want to understand from your core business, because when you talk about housing finance, you're not only catering to people who want to buy houses, right? You are also catering to a segment that is known as construction. There is also renovation. If you want to go ahead for a renovation of your house, you give loan for that. Affordable housing. So I want to understand that what is going to drive the growth for GIC Housing Finance going ahead. Is this going to be construction, affordable housing, renovation? I miss the part of the fact that if you want to buy property as well.
Loan. So as you rightly said, of course, so far our main focus, Ms. GIC Housing, also main focus was a housing loan, and that too mainly the salaried people. Almost 85% of our customers are salaried customers, which are very safe customers.
Also because you have that bharosa hai ki payment
there won't be any default. So that is bharosa, and 85%, but we give traditionally give the loans for the purchase of the new flats or the construction of the flats, and now we are focusing on the, as already discussed, BT in also. But particularly in the metro cities, and the price war is always there, and catering to the prime customers, particularly in the mega cities. When you are giving the housing loans, due to the rate war, you have to offer the best rate. Otherwise, even if you can get the customers, that BT out will be very soon. So getting the customers in the prime cities, it's at a very good rate. That is not going to help in increasing the profitability. So at the same time, you should be focusing on the affordable housing as well as the loan against property, LAP loans, where definitely you can charge little more than the housing loans. So that is the where now my company is also focusing on developing on the affordable loans or the LAP loans, so that you can make up for the whatever little bit we are losing in giving the best rates for the housing to the particular the prime segment.
So basically helps you in diversification.
Diversification also, because that is true for any industry. Unless you have a diversification, it will be very difficult to survive now in this such a competitive world. So for the diversification purposes, we are again focusing on the LAP loans and this affordable housing also. Definitely we can generate, but for housing loan the rates are ranging from 7.10, and I am sure that from wherever you have taken the loan you would have got around 7.25, but then with 7.25 it may be difficult for those companies to survive for a longer period. So definitely we will have to make some loans at 10%, some loans at 12%, so that we should be managing the entire portfolio, and you know the cost of operational cost is increasing day by day in any industry.
Yeah.
So we'll have to match for everything. So it is definitely need of the hour that you should be diversifying here.
Right, diversifying also apart from businesses also means for companies like you, and which, because given the fact that you have a pan-India presence.
Yes.
When you have pan-India presence, what also ensures your presence is felt and everybody is accessible, can access that presence, is one is your branch expansions, the fact that how you are expanding your digital channels, or for the matter of fact also builder partnerships for your business. That is very essential, right? And also making sure your partnership with the builders are the ones that are not going to default at the end of the day. So how is that entire segment growing? What's your plan going ahead for such expansions?
If you talk about the branch expansion, when I took a charge as a MD of this company, which was happened in the March 2025, our branch strength was just 71 branches. So immediately within first year itself, by July 2025, I opened 12 new branches.
Wow.
And again, this financial year also, we have planned to open another 12 branches. But my vision is that by the time, by the next financial year end, I should be completing at least 100 branches. So because I realize that once they any customer or any person sees the physical presence of any office, they get the more confidence. This company is there, any issue is there, any service related issues, the company is there, I can approach, I can go visit that office and get my issues resolved. So that confidence people gets when they see the physical office, which I think sometimes may be lacking in the when it's online only. So that physical presence, and that is why I'm increasing the number of branches. And now my focus is not only on the tier 1 cities, because tier 1 I would say it is already stagnant. So it has to be developed in the tier 2 and the tier 3 cities. And now we see the many cities, tier 2 and tier cities, with the infrastructure development, lot of housing finance projects are coming in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, which are affordable also. So the people are also moving from metro cities to the tier 2, tier 3 cities. So we are finding it easier to get more customers in the tier 2, tier 3 cities rather than the tier 1 countries, tier 1 cities. And secondly, I would like to say that about the preference of customers. So definitely tier 2, tier 3 cities we get a wider scope for the expansion also, and we are planning to now my new branch opening, it will happen in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities.
Alright, so then by default you led me to my next question. I thought after some time I will ask you this question, but the fact that you've spoken so much about tier 2, the fact that clearly I can see there's a lot of love for tier 2, tier 3 cities, because that's where the growth is. So tier 1, like you said, is stagnated, right? It looks like it's stagnated, because metros are like it's. We know how it is. So tier 2, tier 3 cities, that's how that's where you see your growth going ahead now, because in tier 2, 3 cities.
Yes, definitely, because now many projects are coming in the tier 2, tier. Now you take an example of Panvel. Maybe 10 years back, who all wanted to go to Panvel, particularly from the Mumbai side. But now you can also see that many youngsters also they are moving to Panvel. That airport has come up. With the airport, lot of roads, infrastructure has been developed. So people don't mind, because that commute time is also reduced. Means all this faster availability of faster road, rails. So people don't mind coming from Panvel to Churchgate also. Earlier people were finding it difficult to come from Kalyan to Churchgate. Now people are coming from Panvel. So the real tier 2, tier 3 cities are really developing, and compared to tier 1 cities, when you move to tier 2, tier 3 cities, you comparatively get the bigger areas with the same cost. And I think people are preferring that. And as far as builder type also, you asked me some time back. So builder type is also very important. And as far as GIC Housing Finance is concerned, we already have a tie-up with big builders like Lodha, Runwal, Dosti. So we already have a tie-up with them, and we already disbursed few loans for them. And without the builders tie-up, that is again it's very difficult to survive. And another advantage of having the builder finance is that once in a big project, once we approve one flat, Then for the various other, for remaining flats, again you need not go to all those administrative procedure to get you the title clearance check,
Yes.
to getting other things checked. So that cost also gets saved. So we are also in a big way going for the builder types, and accordingly we are financing the build
So
of a project.
it's like it's a win-win for the customer,
Yes,
and it is a
yes,
win-win for the
yes.
company and the builder as well,
Correct.
because it gets credentials also. So
Correct.
if you have you have a very marquee name
Yes,
like
yes.
GIC Housing Finance
Yeah.
that's tied up with the builder.
Yeah.
So which
Yeah.
means that people will actually come
Yeah.
also there to
Correct.
buy a flat.
And whatever we are saving, that definitely we passing on to the customers
Right.
with the reduction in the interest rate
Yeah,
also.
yeah. So-
And once is a reputed builder, we know that there is a chances of default will be almost zero. So we can take that chance also and offer whatever best we can offer to the big builders.
But talking about default, sir,
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I'm coming to this, because you know there was once upon a time in the news, all you heard was asset quality.
Yes. Yeah.
Asset quality concern, like
Yeah.
people who didn't even know what asset quality was,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
started knowing what asset quality is and what it means for financial services, financial industry, and especially for housing finance company.
Yeah.
What a big terminology it is, and what the stress in that means out and out. But given your extensive background in your underwriting as well as risk management, so what's your strategy for maintaining asset quality? Because you wouldn't know when the bubble will burst, right?
Yes,
because
very
right
true,
now, like
very
you've
true,
spoken,
very true.
the amount of people who've taken loan and that number is very staggering.
39 lakh crores.
Yeah, 39 lakh crore. I didn't want to say the number because I thought, will I falter today? But 39
Yeah, yeah.
lakh crore,
Correct.
such
Yeah,
a
yeah.
huge number,
Yeah,
which means at the back of the mind,
Yeah.
someone at a helm of housing
Yeah,
finance
yeah.
company,
Very
asset quality must be giving you
Yes,
sleepless
yes,
nights.
Definitely, because you're talking about the default, and it's a main one important term is the NPA.
Exactly,
NPA,
non-performing
non-performing assets, and many of the banks, while giving the loans to any housing finance, the first thing they see that what is your NPA ratio.
Exactly.
If it is more than 2%, they are very reluctant to give any housing loan to such companies. So we have to always maintain that NPA to less than 2%. And luckily we are below that. So as far as now underwriting is concerned, yes, I also strictly follow at least the 3 principles in the underwriting. First is the system driven credit underwriting. So the most important is the customer should be as a credit healthy. So we are, as far as possible, we are trying to analyze the customer from all the angles, and we have automated most of the things in the customer underwriting. But still I feel that it should not be 100% system driven only, because when you see the face, you can make out how this person would be. So personally, I believe it can be 95% system driven, but 5% human element should always be there. But paper 100% cannot tell the truth. But by looking at the face,
Yes,
yes, we can
exactly.
definitely. So I personally I believe it should be 95% system driven, but 5% my eye reading. That is my personal feeling. So the first, but yes, system driven credit underwriting. Then secondly, I would mention that it's a early warning early warning collection criteria also.
Yeah.
Because as you talk about NPA, if we have a robust systems which tells me the customer behavior, if customer he may not be defaulted with us in paying the EMI of housing loans, but if he has defaulted in any payment of his credit card, that is also trigger to me that he has started defaulting in credit cards. Tomorrow that may
Yes,
come to me.
that will trickle
So
down.
we have building a partnership with the other business partners, so they'll be helping us in finding out which customers has already started defaulting in other loan areas. So that is the credits, that is signal to us. So we'll be very careful with such customers, and our follow up with such customers will be very rigorous. And then we mentioned that if you default even a single EMI, it will be very difficult for you to get loan henceforth in any field.
Right.
Not only in the housing loan, but any credit card or personal loan, auto loan. He will find, and now that CIBIL, now it is playing a very important role. And I would happy to share that even in the last financial year, more than 93% of our customers have a CIBIL rating of more than 700 plus, which is considered to be the good CIBIL rating. So that is a very good sign, and we are focusing on such underwriting people only. And third one, that the first is the system driven credit underwriting, second early warning collection, and Third one, I would say that as far as the system implementation, and again digitalization. Of course, in every angle, I would focus only on digitalization, and that will help me in controlling, improving my underwriting also, and otherwise also, and controlling my NPA. So this will be my focus area.
Making sure that all corners are covered, especially also the fact that when you are going ahead and approving loans, also you are maintaining the quality check,
of course,
with your customers, so that everything is under check, you know, because it's very important at this day and age. But I wanted to understand about now your funding positioning. Like how comfortable is GIC Housing Finance in the funding position, and also to add to that, I wanted to understand how is the borrowing cost right now. Are you expecting to see some reduction going ahead in this year?
No, as I rightly mentioned earlier also, yes, last year RBI has reduced the interest rate, but last 2 quarters they have not changed. And even if there is any change, I don't expect that will happen until this end of this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't expect it, definitely next quarter, maybe by December they may change slightly. But as far as cost of borrowing to GIC is concerned, as already shared with you, we have a very strong backup of our promoter companies, plus our rating of AA plus from the ICRA and CRISIL, that is helping us in getting the very economical rate of borrowing. And if I mention that our cost of borrowing was around 7.84 last year, which was brought down to 7.13. So that is a great reduction, more than 50 basis point. And our incremental cost of borrowing, that was also reduced from 7.84 to 7.13. So this is a great reduction. But this year, even first quarter also, maintaining the last quarter's figures of the incremental cost of borrowing, we are finding it very difficult. In fact, there is a slight increase in the 1 basis point in our cost of borrowing also, and we find it difficult to get it at the reduced rate of interest to get a borrowing. So it will be hardening, and we have already started feeling the heat, because last year we were getting the NCDs at around 7.5%. We are getting the commercial papers at around 6.5, and the bank loans at around 7.90 to 8%. But now we are finding it difficult to get it at around 8% bank loans. CP is not below 8%, commercial papers not below 7%. So it is hardening, and maybe till December at least I expect this hardening will continue. Maybe things may change after that.
Wow. So it's such a good discussion, because we've spoken about how it is better for the consumers, but how the companies are facing housing finance companies are actually feeling the heat at this point in time.
Correct.
But that brings me to my last question to you, because as the MD and CEO of GIC Housing Finance, I want to understand what are your top 3 priorities in the coming years, and I will not say in the near future, I would like to say it's in long term, because nowadays you do not think about 3 to 5 years.
True.
So in the long term, what's your thought process about GIC Housing Finance? What are your strategies? And I know very sure digitization. That you're not allowed to talk about digitization apart from that.
Okay, fine. Now, but yes, for any financial institution to survive long term, it should stand on the 4 pillars. That is a governance, then ethics, and then your risk management, and your the customer trust. These are the 4 pillars of any financial institution.
Beautiful.
And yes, I would like to place, of course, digitalization. Otherwise, that would be the first preference. But my second, my preference would be, I would like this company to increase not only its portfolio but its AUM, that is assets under management. So with this asset management under management only, you are ranking of the our housing finance company, and with the our asset AUM is 11,285 crores, and with that standing we are 17 amongst the housing finance companies. So I would like that AUM to increase by at least cross 15,000. So in my near future, as you say, maybe 2 to 3 years, I want this GIC Housing Finance Company to be in the topmost 15 housing finance companies in India. And I would say last and the most important vision for this company is that when any Indian when they think about purchasing a housing loan, the first name that should come in their mind in the GIC Housing Finance company. I would like to be the preferred partner as far as housing loan is customer, and with that thought process, changing thought process of customers, I would like to say that GIC Housing Finance would like to contribute in the Vikasit Bharat.
Absolutely, and I'm sure all our viewers who are watching this interview would now actually go back, if they have not even heard of GIC Housing Finance, to go back and see, given the fact that at this point in time you require a company that evolves
Yeah.
with you, because
Yeah.
India is evolving
Yes.
every
Yes, yes,
every
every
single
sector,
day.
yes,
In
yes,
fact,
yes.
so
Yeah.
and you need company who is holding you and hand holding you in that evolution.
Correct, correct.
And GIC Housing Finance definitely is at the forefront
Yes,
of that.
sure,
But it was
sure.
a very enriching conversation, Mr.
Thank
Salvi.
you,
Thank you so much, and all the very best to you and your entire team at GIC
Thank you,
Housing
Cheryl.
Finance.
Thank you very much.
And I hope that next time we have this conversation, you can actually scare me with some more AI innovations that you all are doing at GIC Housing Finance. And
Yes,
as a
sure,
customer,
sure. I would love to do that. I would love to do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you.